Hello again, everyone. It's Lenny Izzo, the Mystic Entrepreneur. That is one of the titles that I am rolling with today. And I come to you from Huntington, New York. This is my office here. I want to spend a few minutes with you as a follow-up to my first video. Some of you might have seen it, the 21st Century Entrepreneur. The reason I'm using the terminology Mystic Entrepreneur, just let me get my marquee here for a moment, is because I'm looking to demystify the whole experience of entrepreneurialism. I think it's being redefined, actually. I never considered myself an entrepreneur for my entire professional career as a healer. And when I shifted over, really it happened when I stepped into the network marketing arena and began to embrace the business side of life. I began to recognize that as a professional it was important, or as an individual, it was important for me to embrace business as a way of life and to embrace my life as a way to run my business, to really integrate both. And what that requires is what I described in the first video as integrating or embracing, actualizing, if you will, the purpose behind business with the purpose behind your life. I think you need both in order to be truly successful. And from purpose emerges passion. If it's truly your purpose, if it's truly your soul's purpose, what emerges is passion. And when that passion is connected to people, it will draw from that equation, what will be drawn forth is a profit, if it is within a business model. And profit is healthy. We need profit in order to then run that whole equation. I've been a business owner for 35 years, and when I began to awaken that entrepreneur within, it really is, I believe, something that starts to call from within. I look to get outside of my comfort zone. I always believe that life begins at the edge of your comfort zone. So if you're within the comfort zone, in some ways, parts of your life has not begun. What I wanted to just review in this next 10 minutes, and I'll keep this video short, shorter than the first one, is the cash flow quadrant. And what Robert Kiyosaki, I believe, very brilliantly really articulated. This can be applied to a spiritual journey as well as an entrepreneurial journey. I think that they really are one and the same if it comes from within you, if it is driven from a source within you that wants to bring a greater value into the world. So here's the cash flow quadrant, and I will explain this quickly if you haven't seen it. There's a ton of information out there, but I just want to talk about one or two of the key starting points that get you from inside the box you're in to the new box that you want to get to. It's all about a box. I think that, true freedom comes when we probably ascend to the next level or descend to the next level, depending on your point of view. And true freedom in this world is an ongoing experience, because I believe if any are bound, none are free. So the purpose of the entrepreneur, the mystic entrepreneur, is to demystify the equation that manifests profit, a healthy profit, a profit that serves others as well as serves yourself. And not all business models do that, and as you'll see. But in the process of freeing oneself, the natural instinct for the 21st century entrepreneur is to turn around and help others get free. We keep ourselves free by helping others get free, and that's the purpose of this series, the Mystic Entrepreneur Series. So Robert Kiyosaki talks about 4 ways of making money. He calls this the cash flow quadrant, if you've never seen it before. And the first quadrant, quadrant 1, is the E quadrant, and that is defined by the position of an employee having a job. And that is the way I've been brought up. That's most of us in this culture. If you think about, especially the men listening out there, or the women, but particularly the men's program, what is one of, the hallmark altruistic goals in life is to go get that good job. Get the job, J-O-B. That doesn't work anymore as it did in my generation and in the generation before me. The new generation is not about a job, it's about entrepreneurship. It's about exploration of the different ways of earning money and earning profit. And some of those ways are very healthy and productive and prosperous, and some of those ways can lead you down the wrong path. And so it's important to choose what information you're listening to. And I always say, don't believe anything I say. Whatever you hear from me or from any other teacher out there or coach out there, measure it against your own truth. See if it resonates with you, and then add it to your equation of personal development, personal growth and development. So let's just look at the E quadrant. The E quadrant is really that box that keeps you within a job, and the limitations of that is that you're working for somebody else. You're working against time. You're constantly working that 8-hour day, that 9-hour day, that 10, 11, 12-hour day, whatever it might be. You're working hours for dollars, and there are real limits on there. There's a security there, and those in the E quadrant are basically working for security. You're working your 40 hours a week, or nowadays in this recession, it's not 40 hours a week. People are working 50 and 60 hours, 70 and even more hours per week, and they're not working just one job. How many jobs are you working? Think about it right now, those who are listening. How many jobs are you working? Is it two? Two doesn't even make it anymore today. Today it's 3 jobs. A lot of people I know are working 3 jobs. And each of those jobs is defined by some hourly wage. It's defined by someone else telling you what to do. It's defined by someone else's dream. You're working for someone. If you're not working towards your dream, for sure you're working to build someone else's dream. So the E category is where our whole business culture has come from, and there's nothing wrong with it. I'm not talking about the character of an individual. I'm not talking about their intelligence. I'm not talking about their spirituality. I'm not talking about anything other than how we earn money. It's that simple. There are some great jobs. There are some jobs where people are making a lot of money, and there are jobs where people are making minimum wage, and there's everything in between. The limitation is the job itself, because once that job is gone, that money flow, that salary flow, that income flow stops. So in this category, the purpose or the reference point is really security. We work to be security, and we work that 40 hours, and we work how many years? You work for that pension, don't you? You work for the end of that pension, and you know that the end of your work time today, and the pension that was there is no longer there, not in the same way. It's dwindled with the recession the way it is, with the devaluing of the dollar, with inflation, with everything that has been transforming in our economy, because the economy is going through a transformation. That's really what's happening. Our culture is going through a transformation, and if you're listening to this and you're still on this video with me, you're going through a transformation. And the challenge that I'm offering you, and the challenge I am taking myself, is to go from this side of the cash flow quadrant to this side, and I'll explain how you do that in the next few minutes. So if you're in the E category, you're working for security, and if that's what you want to do, fine. There's nothing wrong with that. This is just an opportunity to come out of that box. The next box is the S category, and Robert Kiyosaki defines this. S means you're self-employed, or you're a specialist. If you're self-employed, I've been self-employed for, coming on 34, 35 years now. And I did that because I wanted to control my own destiny, or so I thought. I did that as a doctor because it was a direction that I was not programmed to go in, but because it was just a different path for me. And I liked the possibilities, I liked the potentialities at the beginning of the journey. And I got to a point about 5 years ago when I realized, I've been working for myself. I am my boss. Had a lot of arguments with my boss along the way, but I wasn't fired. I didn't fire myself. But what I realized was, as much as I enjoyed building a craft as a healer, as much as I enjoyed what I did of helping other people, from a business point of view, I had not built long-term security in for myself. I just didn't think that way, didn't think as an entrepreneur or as a businessman. Many business people do, many self-employed people do, and they'll build that security right in, they'll build a retirement. But today, you know what's happening to those 401ks, you know what's happening to those retirement plans, you know what's happening to that savings that you had. So it's not working like we thought it would. The challenge here in the S category, Kiyosaki says, S really stands for psychotic, because today, if you're a small business owner, with the tax laws and the challenges that the government puts up against us, they don't support small businesses as much as you think it does, especially in New York State. It's tough to do any small business in New York State, and it's tough to run your own business because you're doing everything. You're the cook, you're the waiter, and you're the chef, and you do everything in that restaurant. That metaphor. You run the show. You do everything that you need to do. And if you're not there doing it, what happens? Right. It's not being done. So you become the specialist. No one can do it as good as you. And you are limited here. And the reference point here is really time and limitation. You're limited because you can't do it all on your own. And what happens is you end up working to work. And so everything relative to time. Here, someone else determines your time. Here, your time is determined by what you have to produce, and that you become the specialist and no one does it as good as you, and you're working to work. Unless you've set up a business where you're delegating, and most business owners don't do that. Small business owners don't. They don't delegate because of the fear of giving away their shop. I hired many associates as a doctor along the way, and every time I mentored an associate, what do you think happened? He got up and he left and he opened up his own small business. So this side of the cash flow quadrant is limited. You're not going to get rich on this side. At best, you'll become secure and you'll keep working to work. You can make a lot of money depending on your job and depending on your small business, but you're not going to get financially free. Probability says you're not going to get there. I'm not saying people can't get financially free from here. Sure you can. If you're wise and you've been blessed to have a job that you can make a salary that has some excess to it, but most of us don't do that. So how do you get to the place of financial freedom? You have to cross over and change your station in life, not just change your state. You can change your state by going to a workshop. You can change your state of consciousness by reading a book. You can change your state by fantasizing. You can change your state by thinking about what's possible. You can change your state of mind very quickly. But how do you change the station in life? How do you actually change where you are, your identity? This is an identity shift, and that's why it's so hard for people. Because to get from the left side of the cash flow quadrant to the right side, you have to change your identity and get out of the mindset of working for someone else or working for yourself and become a leader on this side. And this quadrant, defined by the B, is a business owner, and it's a big business owner. And Forbes magazine defines big business as someone who has 500 employees or more. That's one way to define, a key way to define whether you're running a big business. Now, 5 years ago, I stepped into a business model called network marketing, where I developed a big business. I went from here, a small business owner, where the most I had working for me at one point was about 7 or 8 people in my career. And when I stepped out, I was really there working on my own with just a few people, my wife at the front desk and 1 or 2 part-time people. But I stepped into this arena and got hold of a bigger business model where I ended up having just under a few thousand, 3,000 people on my business team. and I stepped into network marketing. Now, there's a lot of judgment out there about network marketing. I was the first one to put my hand up. My previous video, I spoke about it. What I know now, and I recommend you read the book, The Business of the 21st Century, and you consider network marketing. And I'm not going to describe what that is right now and what it isn't. If you're listening to this, you either have a judgment about it, or you have some idea about it, or you have a respect for it, and you understand that it can work and it cannot work. But it's not the model itself. It is the people either working the model, or the people trying to work the model, or it's the people who have put together a business in that industry where that business is not properly backed or financed, and it's short-lived. So there are a lot of short-lived businesses in the arena of network marketing. So you want to find the right one. But the advantage on being over here is that you have others who are working with you, not working for you, but working with you. How can you get into this arena? Well, you can buy a big business that's already there, but if you're going to do that, you need to have the money to invest in someone else's dream who now wants to step into another part of their dream. You're going to have substantial income to buy a big business where you can step into that leadership. You can do it through franchising. Franchise offers you a system. It offers you a model where you can step in and follow the structure. You don't have to create the structure. You follow it. I needed to create structure here. I'm not good at creating structure. I'm good at bringing concepts to life. I'm good at teaching. I'm good at coaching. I'm good at motivating. I'm good at inspiring others. And to create a structure, I had my limitations on doing that. I never went into someone else's structure and worked for someone else's structure. When I got into the model of network marketing, in 6 months I became a big business owner. I had close to 1,000 people in my organization. And it was the business that later became the Trump Network. And now I'm speaking freely about the Trump Network because for me, it was a double-edged sword. It was a blessing for me because it got me into this industry, which I now recognize, and I recognized then, is an industry that can be challenging and can be very rewarding, but it's going to take something in you. It will challenge you. If you look at my first video of the Mystic Entrepreneur, the 21st Century Entrepreneur, to be an entrepreneur is to be on this side of the cash flow quadrant, and it will challenge you. It will challenge you to bring out your genius. It will challenge you to bring out your gifts. It will challenge you to bring out your leadership, to bring out your dream, your goals, your desires, your wants. It will challenge you to come out of that box, whatever box you're in. And you show me your box, and I'll be glad to show you mine. We're all boxed in somewhere along the way. So the purpose of this series is to help you move outside of your comfort zone. And I will share with you in my next video, my third video, the 3 businesses that I'm operating from here, that I'm building. And I'm building it now. It's taken me a few years to kind of get myself back on my feet. I didn't know if I wanted to get back into the network marketing industry, but I'll tell you what I'm doing from here. But let me finish the thought about why you don't want to buy a franchise. Or, not that you don't want to, you can consider it. Some people have done very well with franchises, but franchises are difficult. You're going to have to spend a hefty amount of money to get into a decent one. You're going to have to work it for 5 years or 7 years. It's going to take time to build. It's not an overnight thing. Nothing that's worth any value can you build overnight. However, there are structures and systems and business models that can afford you to accelerate your growth quicker depending on how you do it, why you do it, when you do it, where you do it, and who you do it with. And network marketing is one of those opportunities. It really depends on you and the people that you align with, the people that you want to go in business with, the people that you resonate with. And I will speak more about that in my next video. But here is where you learn, you discover how to have money work for you. Here in this quadrant, as a business owner, you have a system, and network marketing sets up the system differently than franchising because it costs a lot less to get in to a very good network marketing company that you believe in, that has the right product, the right principle behind it, the right people behind it, and the right cash backing behind it so it can sustain itself. Contrary to popular belief, the Trump network business didn't have the right capital funding behind it. That was one of the issues that caused it to run its short cycle. But I learned a lot, and there were good people. And there were good people at the top, and there were good people in the middle, and there were good people all through the organization. As I look back, I have no hard feelings. It got me through the door of possibility and opportunity. And in the world of business, if you're in this world, you're going to have to take your shots and take your lumps. You're going to have to fall, but be willing to get up. And that's what I've been doing, and that's what I'm doing, and that's what I've done. I've gotten up, and I'm going forward. And that's where the Mystic Entrepreneur series has emerged from. It's really a series to help you manifest. That's the mystic in you. There's a mystic in there. There's a manifester in there. Someone who can take what is invisible and bring it into the visible form. What's invisible is your dream, pretty much for most of us. What's invisible is the dream. Norman Cousins once said, I was in a conference in '78. I'm dating myself. And Norman Cousins said, I never forget it because I wrote it down, and I've lived with it on and off for years. He said, the real tragedy in life is not that people die. The real tragedy in life is that as they're living, the dream inside them dies. That's the real tragedy. So manifesting your dream is what the Mystic Entrepreneur series is about. It's to help you access your dream, your desire, what you want and what you believe you can have in a way that's aligned with purpose and with mission and with the value that helps other people and draws a profit. Network marketing is a business model that anyone can step into when you find the right business for you. Then you can run with it. And I'm running with 3 right now. And I'll describe what they are, but I won't talk about them in this video. I want to make this a generic video. So from here, you start to generate a healthy cash flow that's not just determined by your efforts, but it's determined by the efforts of your business system. And what a business owner does is then run the system and let the system do the work. Let the efforts of an organization work for you and through you as you fuel and as you nurture and as you build that organization. That's a lot of fun to do. I love to build organizations. I love to build community. And that's my experience with this business model. Once you earn the cash flow, you still don't necessarily get financially free here. Then you need to invest it. And one of my businesses is about an investment tool. I'm so much about new technology. And from this side of the board, I'm running with 3 different businesses. One is a health and wellness business, which if you want more information, you can contact me at lennyizzo.com. I'll share with you personally why I picked this health and wellness industry, partially because it's my background, partially because it's the next trillion-dollar industry, and partially because it's not just a fad, it is part of the evolution of our consciousness. So you want to be involved in that, and it will change your life when you get involved with the right company. The second business is a technology that's about investing, and it's to help you capitalize on the money you do have invested right now. It is to help you turn a healthier profit, other than the profit or the lack of profit that you're getting through your retirement fund, your 401ks, wherever you've got your money today. Investing is turning a smaller profit across the board. The business that I am developing with, it's a startup business. It is really ahead of its time. Most of what I've touched into in my life has always been ahead of the time, and I realize why. That's just a part of who I am. I'm always kind of on the edge, and It's a risky place to be. If you're one of those people that likes to live on the edge and is always pushing that edge, give me a call. Go to lennyizzo.com. I'll give you more information. My next video, I will talk specifically about why I've chosen these three businesses. So the investment business is here. The other business is a network marketing, not a network marketing, but an internet driven business. It's all about learning to market yourself through the internet, and it's phenomenal. It's taught me so much. I wouldn't be making this video if I didn't make a $25 investment in that business. But I wanted this video not to be about pitching my businesses to you. I wanted this video to be educational as to how you get on this side of the board, and it's not for everybody. I know more people that were stopped here, that jumped over here, had an experience for a little bit, had some success, and then that success was not short-lived for some of the reasons I just said, and some of the reasons that are just part of life, challenges, and then jump back to this side or this side, and will never go back again because people feel they've been burned or they've been hurt, and failure is not about being burned, about being hurt. There is no failure when you get yourself back up and you get back into the game. And that's what I'm doing. I'm back in the game, and it's the game of entrepreneurialism. Entrepreneurialism, I believe, is one of the new archetypes of the 21st century. It is an archetype. An entrepreneur is a directive of the soul. I truly believe that, friends. There is an entrepreneur in each of us, and it's not just a person who's business-minded. It's an individual who is driven to bring value to a culture, whether it be a culture of a small community of people that you are in business with, or it's a larger culture. And we see so much evidence of that today about changing culture. We're at the beginning of the 21st century. Look at what happened at the beginning of the 19th century and where we ended up at the 20th century and where we ended up. Look at what's happened in a couple hundred years. Look at what happened in the last 50 years. Look what's happened in the last 10 years. We can only imagine where we're going to be at the end of this century. And the seeds that are being planted today are about a new world to come. And that entrepreneur spirit, the entrepreneur inside you, I believe, is part of this whole dimensional shift that we're talking about, the fourth dimensional shift. I believe that there are healer entrepreneurs out there listening to me. There are mystic entrepreneurs out there listening to me. There are creative entrepreneurs, manifestor entrepreneurs. There are educator entrepreneurs. There are teacher entrepreneurs. We are combining gifts and realizing that we don't have to live in one box or the other, that life is an opportunity for us to come out and not just create a new box, but to actually create a new culture where the directive is prosperity, the directive is wellness and health, the directive is taking control of one's life for the right reasons, not to take control of my life so that I can live my own life alone. No, it's coming out of an isolated state. It's coming out of the security of isolation. It's coming out of the security of working on by oneself. And it's coming into the adventure of people and community and passion and purpose. And what we need to do that and to be fulfilled in this world is the right structure. This is the structure my soul has chosen. You've got your structure. The wellness industry is about teaching people to take care of our structure from a cellular level up to a physical level, up to the structure of our life. That's what true wellness is about. Other technologies coming through to help us create a new world so that we can transform the world from whence we've come to the new world that's only going to come through our vision, through what we each see and what we each bring and what we each contribute. So I honor the work of Robert Kiyosaki. I honor the work of Donald Trump. I honor the work of many who have gone before, those who are leading the way. There are so many of them. I honor the work in my last video of Socrates, who said, a life unexamined is a life not worth living. My invitation to you in the Mystic Entrepreneur series is to examine that manifestor inside you. If you want to stay connected to this kind of information through me, Go to lennyazzo.com, just sign up, register, and say you're interested in the Entrepreneur Series, the Mystic Entrepreneur Series. I'm going to be bringing back, for those who were with me in the Trump Network, I'm going to be bringing back the Diamond Mindset, and I'll describe that in one of my videos, what that is. The Diamond Mindset is about the diamond within you. In the Hindu Eastern tradition, the diamond is the symbol of the God self, of the true self, of that genius within. And that's where the diamond mindset comes in. All of us have that genius within us. And today, to choose to bring it through business is the path of not everyone. However, the business of our life is truly the path for everyone. And to manifest whatever life we're here to manifest is the challenge and the invitation and the directive of the soul. The soul is challenging us, the global soul, the greatest soul, the soul of this planet and beyond, to bring a better world, to bring greater value, and to bring into this world greater prosperity, greater health, greater wellness, greater technologies, so that we can all free ourselves from the struggles that we've inherited that aren't ours to bear that burden any longer. So join me. As always, I appreciate the time with you. And as I always say, if any are bound, none are free. And keep going. Keep moving, my friend. Good to see you. God bless you. I'll see you in our next video. Bye for now.